People can be careful what they say, move up the chain or pray. The world ain't black or white, it's gray, and if those who wanna see the next day, you better come, you're gonna come to slay. Someone might have died today, and those good things can't stay. There are those who will never be okay. Some will go insane. There is weed and cocaine, heroin and Mary Jane. They look to stop, but find more pain, and for a greedy person's gain to destroy your brain. Thousands put that stuff in their veins. When is the end of this reign? We are the cause of our own bane. You gotta grind against the grain. There's so much, where do we begin? But hey, that's just the world we live in. Frontsies sell each other out to save their own skin, and every day the force grows thin and we all commit sins. And when it's done, no one wins, but that's just the world we live in, with many forms of discipline. Yet still we rise and fall, deaths that will appall. It is not the same for us all. Where things go AWOL, not everybody's gonna make the right call. Bullets will sprawl, and bodies will crawl, and that's how they paint a wall. Things are more complicated than they seem. No one knows the full scheme. There are no leaders, just the teams, and a lot of it is extreme. LSD and morphine. You have to keep up or we swept downstream. This is a reality, this isn't a dream. Where has justice been? But hey, that's just the world we live in. Friends will sell each other out just to save their own skin. And every day the force grows thin, and we all commit sins. And when it's done, no one wins. But that's just the world we live in. It's time to release the beast within. Our world is plagued with hate. We're all in a bad state. Some people are pressured to be straight, and now at this rate, it won't be long before people take the bait. Change is what we all await. Some just need to equate and then checkmate. Everyone is left thinking about what it could be. Things need to stop before they get bloody. It won't be long before someone crosses the boundary, cause no one seems to agree. People are captured and killed so bluntly, those who wish to be free. Killing will go down in history. Not every solution is the army. People feel trapped, this ain't East Berlin. But that's just the world we live in. Friends sell out each other just to save their own skin. And every day the force grows thin, and we all commit sins. And when it's done, no one really wins. But that's just the world that we live in. That's just the world that we live in. Do you know how to be heard? It can take a single word. That's how many of our fights occurred. Us continuing to fight is assured, but like the feathers of a bird, you gotta stick to the herd. Going up against everyone on your own is absurd, cause one day the world is gonna come crashing down. You need to step up or step out to earn the crown. You need to be feared or honored from town to town. People will have to treat you better, white or brown. You have to make a name for yourself before you're in the ground. You have to keep fighting for one more round, cause you never know who is around. Respect and money, how's that sound? Because times are rough, and they're gonna get rougher. The only way to survive is to get tougher. You can never call enough. It's a large universe and we're just a blue dot. You better find what you saw. You only ever get one shot. Be sure to give them a show. Don't ever forget what you've been taught, cause all you got is what you know. Mistakes like those you cannot. Just remember, you only got one shot. You better do something before you're left to rot. You wanna be remembered as someone who fought. Don't ever be afraid to speak. Don't ever show people that you're weak. That'll give them reason to turn the cheek. Cause hate has been going on endlessly, and for centuries we have killed relentlessly. History nobody wants to repeat. You never wanna be in the heat, so why don't you take a seat? Let me tell you the truth, short and neat. People cheat, especially those with more than enough to eat. So don't get scammed or you're dead meat, because you need to be seen, cause everyone needs green. You're going to fail a lot. You only ever get one shot. Be sure to give them a show. Don't ever forget what you've been taught, cause all you got is what you know. Mistakes like those you cannot. Just remember, you only got one shot. Because failure is something you cannot do. To keep moving you got. Otherwise instead, people will want you dead, and there will be a price on your head. Sometimes blood will hit to be shed. Before you're full of lead, you gotta survive somehow. we reap what we sow. Cause the time to move is always now, you have to be on your toes, and it shows. Life ain't fair and it blows, most people die as ordinary Joes. So you better rise up among the crowd. Are you listening or is everyone too loud? The only way to live is true and proud. You better get used to the sound, you gotta cook up a plot. Cause ready or not, we're coming in hot. You only ever get one shot, be sure to give them a show. Don't ever forget what you've been taught, cause all you got is what you know. Mistakes like those you cannot. Just remember, you only got one shot. You only got one shot.
The mind is an equation. It changes with every conversation. Because anyone is likely to stab you in the back. Real or not, you're always under attack. And you'll have to backtrack and pick up the slack because trust ain't worth jack. We live in a world of hacks. To live you can't kick back. I ain't gonna be no hunchback. I'm the alpha of the pack. Cause kids are growing up in a changing time. You never know what's going through someone's mind. Who knows what people will be behind. And those people who get too kind, and we break the ties that bind. Looks are not all that define. You'll end up confined. People are in a fright. Cause horrible things can happen overnight. Because we ain't all just black and white. Because behind every first sight, no one ever truly knows what's wrong or right. The fires that our words will ignite, and things can never just be alright. Cause good and bad aren't just black and white. And the innocent people we indict, everyone's got monsters in their heads. On the outside we are all misread, tossing and turning in our beds, and who knows where that led. They all walk around like the undead, cutting their wrists till they bled, and people will turn up dead. Murder is nothing but bloodshed, you always gotta be 3 steps ahead. Lightly we all must tread, because bad things have always just spread. The greatest tool is the brain, yet some of it gets left as a stain. Drugs and gangs are our banes, we live in a world of Cains. This world is coated in a lot of blight. Because we ain't all just black and white. Because behind every first sight, no one ever truly knows what's wrong or right. The fires that our words will ignite, and things can never just be alright. Cause good and bad aren't just black and white. Because we all do nothing but fight. Is it really impossible to work together? Never say never, business before pleasure, and it is quite the endeavor to try to be more clever. But however, the peace can't last forever because relationships will be severed. Cause we ain't all tethered, people will turn on whoever, whenever and wherever. We solve all our problems with guns, and when it is said and done, our main concern is always number one, hater of all and lover of none. Our problems we can't outrun, we all live under the same sun. I'm done just being polite. Because we ain't all just black and white. Because behind every first sight, no one ever truly knows what's wrong or right. The fires that our words will ignite, and things can never just be alright. Cause good and bad aren't just black and white.
Coughing up blood and broken bones cut down by drones just for standing or throwing stones. They just ignore the moans. They say that we're resistant and are persistent when we are just assistant, but they are consistent to the men enlisting. You could be left in the car to bleed, and no one can hear you scream, and that's the way that it seems. People get sent away with broken dreams. If you try to run and they cuff me, shoot someone and they walk free. This is how the system will be with you slanted. Our wish will not be granted, evidence is planted. The book they ought to stick by and apply. Because hey, I'm not the bad guy, and it's so sad, why? Because even if you comply, you can still get shot and die, planted and spread as a lie, to look like it, but hey, I'm not the bad guy. Because who truly is the ally? For when things go awry, people will be left black and blue. It's them versus you. Who knows what they are gonna do? I honestly don't have a clue. Who will make the right calls when things go off the walls and it all comes down and falls? Who will take action and who stalls? Who will resolve or start brawls to come and break down doors? Corruption is at its core, and what codes will they ignore? Try to implore. They won't spare one detail of gore when you get wrestled to the floor. The time for change is nigh. Because hey, I'm not the bad guy, and it's so sad, why? Because even if you comply, you can still get shot and die, planted and spread as a lie, to look like it, but hey, I'm not the bad guy. It's a story most will never buy, being hosed and left to dry. Will the boys in blue come to your raid, but then we crusade, and they barricade and release brigades. They'll shoot first and plant a blade, and they will make more people afraid, and say the bad or the decayed. How much longer will we keep up this escapade? I guess our bed is made, and this is the only way it could be portrayed, cause it ain't always an open and shut case. People will just take it at their own pace. These people could go on without a trace, and it's a disgrace. Most of them don't even go to the right place. A lot of them die before you see their face, and soon their name will be erased. These are the laws that we abide. It's a world too scared to defy. Because hey, I'm not the bad guy, and it's so sad, why? Because even if you comply, you could still get shot and die, planted and spread as a lie, to look like it, but hey, I'm not the bad guy.
Sure that the stage is set. I tried to live without regrets or something to that effect. Let everyone know that I ain't done yet, so I'ma keep this short. People could hunt you down for sport, while others get to leave court and continue to bend and extort without a single report. Because you can either fight or hide from your problems that reside, cause we live in a foundation built on lies, always looking for the next big prize, and then they will just cut ties. We don't exactly get multiple tries. Is that how we're supposed to live our lives until the Grim Reaper arrives? Because here, there's more bad than anyone knows. You better know your friends and foes, cause not all get the things that they chose. Avoid those who can drop to new lows. It gets harder to powder your nose, and as it shows, that's just how it goes. So choose wisely, your friends and foes. Don't be someone that they can dispose, cause hop on and go for a ride. Because not all can ride the high tide and survive, cause it doesn't really matter what is inside. What's it worth if you can't provide? All you really have is pride. Go out saying you tried or continue to live a lie. I ain't exactly ready to die. In fact, I've never felt more alive. I may not exactly be a pro, but give me the mic and I'll give you an inferno. And let these rhymes show. Times will be as bad as times go. Pull the curtain and see what you expose. You better know your friends and foes, cause not all get the things that they chose. Avoid those who can drop to new lows. It gets harder to powder your nose, and as it shows, that's just how it goes. So choose wisely, your friends and foes. And you get locked up if you oppose, cause why are they all mad at me? Police brutality, in the streets there's fatality, and don't expect an apology. Sorry, that is just reality, so you better check that fallacy. You're just a speck in the galaxy, and in the blood of all is apathy. I wouldn't call it a tragedy, just something that had to be. His piece is really a fantasy. Well, don't agree? Well, then answer me. When have we not fought actually? Cause if you look factually, we will never find amnesty. Just continuing to silence the cries of agony, and the book of humanity will have to close. You better know your friends and foes, cause not all get the things that they chose. Avoid those who can drop to new lows. It gets harder to powder your nose, and as it shows, that's just how it goes. So choose wisely, your friends and foes. Your friends and foes. Your friends and foes.
How did everything just happen to go to hell? The streets are getting littered with shells. When can we be free of this spell? The truth the dead can't tell. And back and forth they yell of a problem that'll continue to dwell. And I wonder when our humanity fell, cause our views just seem to be parallel. And we just watch as our homes burn, and then the ones we trust to turn. Change it is, that's what I yearn. And when our friends we won't need to discern, because our freedom is what we've earned. And I wish this was our only concern, because this is more than a big deal. You need to choose to hurt or to heal, to make sure that everyone can get a meal. Because I wish we didn't get the exact same deal, because we are all people who can feel. Instead of fight, why do you choose to steal? It's up to you to hurt or to heal. To slap on the cuffs of cold steel, we all just wanna leave alive and think of those who died. Change now while there's still time, living equal is for what we strive, yet that you continue to deprive. Those who choke we can't exactly revive. We are not just more bees in the hive. This ain't 1775, because the day of reckoning will arrive. There was BS you wouldn't believe, the pain that others receive. You all know that we hope to achieve, and yet you all just have to grieve. Because he's saying, I can't breathe, you better remove your heel. You need to choose to hurt or heal, to make sure that everyone can get a meal. Because I wish we didn't get the same feel, because we are all people who can feel. Instead of fight, you choose to steal. It's up to you to hurt or to heal. So I guess I'll just spin the wheel, and you get to decide whether or not when I get pulled over I get shot. They'll still leave you with a red spot. So that's why we have this plot on why our fire is burning so hot. We'll fight for what the others have fought. I'm not afraid to share my thought, because this change can't be bought. While we leave our dead to rot, we'll just have to continue to play the game. And there are just so many to blame, and the whole world just grows more and more insane. And we all just have to fight through the pain. A little decency we should retain, establish and do ordain, because help me break the chain. This old wound we need to seal. You need to choose to hurt or heal. We gotta make sure that everyone can get a meal, because they always give us the exact same spiel. Because we all are people who can feel. Instead of fight, why do they choose to steal? It's up to you to hurt or to heal. It's up to you to hurt or to heal. It's up to you to hurt or to heal. Hurt or heal. It's up to you to hurt or heal. That well of wealth is dry. You'll just have to learn how to get by, because you'll always have to try, even until you eventually drop and die. Otherwise everyone is just living a lie. The ropes of law are hard to untie. You'll just have to learn how to get by, because the time for change is nigh. No matter what you've done, you got to untie yourself from the knot, because you'll end up in the ground to rot. Failure, this is an option that is not. And get together some kind of plot, because you've only ever got one shot. We're all working against the clock. In a world we're all distraught, trying to rebuild our lives, block by block. The solution isn't always the Glock, and these days the rules is the bedrock. Rich people are just like hawks, and people talk big, but it's just talk. Nowadays, who's the enemy or the ally? You'll just have to learn how to get by, because you'll always have to try, even until you eventually drop and die. Otherwise everyone is just living a lie. The ropes of law are hard to untie. You'll just have to learn how to get by. Your best skills you gotta apply, because not everyone has an alibi. For fear, people join and flock, in the system we're afraid to mock, because life is just a hard knock, where we keep our doors unlocked. To say it'll get better is really stock. Ignorance can just never be okay. In fact, I find it as such a shock. People die just about every day, and problems will just never go away, regardless of what people Now, where should I start? I spend hours staring into the dark. My mind won't stop moving, I can put it in park. Because people are just sharks to step and cut out your heart. And there are people that are just narcs, whose ways we will part. To survive I gotta be smart. Gonna be a long time before I make my mark. If only life came with a restart. The fires the world begin with a spark. Life's journey I don't want to embark. Not like the good things ever lasted. At any point a person could get blasted. We are all known for being drastic. Personalities are made out of plastic. My stomach is doing gymnastics. I find it difficult to not be sarcastic. How do I know my fate isn't signed? These nerves are just a state of mind. It's hard to believe and hope for mankind. The walls I create make me confined. If I reach in, I wonder what I'll find. Eye for an eye and the world goes blind. The pressure I make is all a state of mind. Will I ever break these binds? I rise and fall to try and be fantastic. I sometimes say that things are bombastic. Illusions of being the scholastic. A person's conclusion isn't elastic. Tossing and turning without sleep. Doing good I struggle to upkeep. The pain and failure cuts deep. I bounce, I trip and on when I leap. Things I gotta do piles into a heap. The mountains I climb is too damn steep. My parents tell me nothing is cheap. The anxiety in my mind that creeps. When I finally get rocked to sleep, I tell myself this a million times. These nerves are just a state of mind. It's hard to believe and hope for mankind. The walls I create make me confined. If I reach in, I wonder what I'll find. Eye for an eye and the world goes blind. The pressure I make is all a state of mind. I can feel the pain of lagging behind the pieces of my mind that I have to read. Sometimes you just need to take a leap. My anxiety is just going on repeat. Because good things are hard to keep. They expect me to jump leaps and bounds. The voices in my head are just sounds. Run before they release the hounds. Because no one will always be around. No matter what, I will be crowned before I get put in the ground. Just put me in for another round. So I just gotta stand your ground. Success is something that can't just wrap around. I gotta keep my head or I will be drowned. I will not be a part of the background. In this world you can't survive and be kind. These nerves are just a state of mind. It's hard to believe and hope for mankind. The walls I create make me confined. If I reach in, I wonder what I'll find. Eye for an eye and the world goes blind. The pressure I make is all a state of mind. So unwind the ties that bind in your mind. Need help, we'll join the line. And I'll see you all next time when I spit some new rhymes. Cause right now, I'm in a state of mind. I'm in a state of mind. Unwind the ties in your mind that bind. I'm in a state of mind. I lie down uncomfortably in bed, and every part of my body feels dead. Festering in my gut is dread. Out rather than rest in my head, I end up instead soaking the sheets with tears I shed and rub my nails until they bled. The tales in my head being read. I feel bad even though I get fed, and I remember all the bad things I said. Because sadness is what we all share, and rising up is every one of my hairs. And what do I have to myself to compare? Whatever I do, who cares? Because I'll go on, cause life can't always be fair. I take the step and trip down the stair. I feel pain when I snip the snare. And I look up at the wall and stare because I'm fighting fair. And I'm scared, what do I think about myself? And why can't I be the best that I can be? What the hell is wrong with me? I got what I wanted, I should be happy. I look around and red is all I see. I scream at night a dreaded melody. I feel like I'm falling through an endless sea. There's something wrong with me. So I'ma tell you this is my plea. I'm trying to be a good artist even though I may not be the largest. And I've been working my hardest to try and harness the goddess of all my prowess. And I will try and be modest, but that's just the farthest from truly being honest. And I try so hard to calm this so I can get the good harvest. But if I work until I'm a carcass, I won't get the catharsis and my work will be tarnished. But all of that regardless, I ain't a guy who's retarded. I will continue going as I've been regarded, keeping close how this all started. And I am astonished. Look at me and tread carefully. What the hell is wrong with me? I got what I wanted, I should be happy. I look around and red is all I see. I scream at night a dreaded melody. I feel like I'm falling through an endless sea. There's something wrong with me. I'm mixing up real life with fantasy, and I'm getting down on my knees because I gotta face reality. Cause nothing matters in this whole galaxy, and it batters at the heart of thee. And so this is what I decree. They tell me that ignorance is bliss, but imagine all that you'll miss when you willingly choose to dismiss. Ignore whatever they insist, no matter what I need to persist.
exist. So I check off everything on my list. I wanna be more than to just exist, but I got a darkness that'll subsist, and the knots in my gut'll twist. Because the rules of this world consist, the dark urges I just gotta resist, and all that makes me pissed. But I can't just solve my problems with my fists or cutting my wrists, and I'm looking and thinking, to hell with this. What the hell is wrong with me? I got what I wanted, I should be happy. I look around and red is all I see. I scream at night, I dreaded melody. I feel like I'm falling through an endless sea. There's something wrong with me. I know we all got problems, but we all are born under the same hut. Not everyone can make a buck, and sometimes we